People often say that children are blank pages, and who nurtures them are the people who will paint on those blank pages. This is absolutely accurate, when in history, there are children who just need to have a deviant mentality, or impulsive thinking, instinct, may also be willing to commit heinous crimes. Hi, it's me again. And today we're going to find out about your stories. The child is said to be the worst ever. Eric Smith was the 22nd of January 1980. He was arrested by police at the age of 13 for the murder of Derek Robbie, 4 years old, at the 8th of February 1993. Eric was cycling on his way to a summer camp at a park in the area. I've seen Derek Robbie and lured him into a wooded area nearby, then strangled the boy. And yet, Eric kept throwing stones at the victim's head and have sex with the victim with a tree branch. Around 11 o'clock noon, Derek's mother is Doran. Go to the park to pick up your kids, just to realize that the boy has never been here. After a few hours of investigation, Derek's body was found. Eric was arrested in the 8th of August 1993 after Raw surrendered. Your sentence is 9 years in prison. After being convicted of second-degree murder when I was just a kid. Eric was diagnosed with panic disorder, and he was often bullied as a child. Maybe this is the cause of these barbaric acts. It's about Eric Robbie. Eric gets clemency in October 2021. After 27 years in prison, he's finally set free in February 2022. In the 21st of October 2009, 15-year-old Alyssa Bustaman killed Elizabeth Alton. 9 years old, is a neighbor of hers. Alyssa asked her sister, luring Elizabeth into a forest, cut Elizabeth's throat and stab her again. The 15-year-old killer. They buried Elizabeth into a hole that had been dug 5 days earlier. It turns out that Alyssa planned this murder. Have a serious psychological problem, plus unstable family life. Not over. The 15-year-old has attempted suicide several times. However, the court still decided to punish Alyssa as a normal person, received a life sentence. Alyssa said, "You killed Elizabeth." Simply to know the feeling. What is murder? Mary Bell was the 26th of May 1957. When he was only 11 years old, she killed 2 children by strangulation. Mary's mother is a woman who works in the red light district. Gave birth to her when she was 17. She often tried to kill her daughter. From things like letting Mary fall out the window, or accidentally taking a handful of pills. Even when she was 4 years old, her mother made Mary entertain men. May 1968, before his 11th birthday, Mary strangled 4-year-old Martin Brown. 2 months later, Mary and another girl strangled 3-year-old Brian Howe. The police reported that Mary is back to engrave an M on the victim's abdomen. In 1968, she was convicted of manslaughter. The court did a psychological evaluation of the girl, assumed that Mary has symptoms of a psychopath. "16 is the age that children are. I just got into 1st grade and started writing. Carmen became a murderer." On a day in 1929, while arguing with an 8-year-old boy named Sizzle. Because of a piece of scrap metal, Sizzle stole the inventory and slapped the boy in the face. Then the warehouse rat home. "Get in your chair and take down your shotgun. And go back and shoot the Sizzle." With just 1 shot, he became a young killer. The oldest in Kentucky. Maybe even the youngest in America. Because he was too young, the boy was tried for manslaughter. But because the age is too small, the parents were charged instead. Your father went to prison, and your mother was exiled from her home. Carr still lives in freedom before his death in 1958. When you're 35 years old. The 29th of March 2006-year-old boy. Derek Owens shot a girl in his class. Kayla Rowland at Buell Elementary School. The incident was witnessed by the homeroom teacher, 22 other students. Before pulling the trigger, he told Kayla, "I didn't like you." That same morning, Owens threatened to kill his uncle's child at home. Weeks before the incident, he stabbed another schoolmate with a pencil, because children at this age will not be convicted, even if they kill people deliberately. The district attorney has condoned Owens' crime. Instead, the uncle who owned the gun was convicted of manslaughter and 2 years in prison. Buell Elementary School had to close in 2002 because there were no students and the financial crisis. It was heavily damaged in 2005. It was eventually destroyed in 2009. Oh, magic now. That's an 8-year-old boy accused of killing 3 people. He's the youngest serial killer in history. January 2007, a mother in a small village Khorn in India. I forgot about my 6-month-old. At a local elementary school, the SA boy took the baby to a nearby field, put it on the grass and hit the baby in the head with a brick. Then cover the body with grass and dry leaves. Family members are convinced that Amagic did the same thing to his 1-year-old cousin and his 6-month-old sister. They reported it to the police, and this boy confessed to everything. Samsad Hussain is a psychoanalyst. He told reporters that Sada can be an excitable person, tendency to harm others. Because he's too young, Sada is not in the penalty box. Crimes of Indian law. What happened during the trial and detention of Sada? It's completely secret, so no one really knows what happened about Amajit Sada. Joseph's father's name was Jeffrey. Is a man who regularly beats his wife and children. The 5th of January 2011 at 4 a.m. Joseph took my father's magnum gun. He pointed it at his father's ear and shot him dead. The boy confessed that, "I was bored. She was raped by a cruel father. You're worried that your father won't die after a shot by a magnum, and will come back to finish him off." According to Joseph Ho's grandmother, the boy is extremely unintelligent and sadistic. He was expelled from many schools by attacking Catholic teacher. He almost strangled a teacher to death by desk telephone cord. Skill shot. Joseph's gun was taught by his own father. It's ironic how when Jeffrey taught his son a skill, he was later used by the boy to kill his father. In 2013, Joseph was convicted of murder, and he'll be in a re-education camp until he's 23. Lionel Alexander Tate. The 30th of January 1987. He was the youngest murderer to be sentenced to life in prison. In the 28th of July 1999, Ted was alone with Unique. The 6-year-old is being watched by Ted's mother, Mrs. Kathleen, when Kathleen was up on her own. About 45 minutes after death, I went upstairs to tell my mother, "UNIC is no longer breathing. She's got a lot of it all over her head." The bruises is described similar to the injuries caused by the high-speed traffic accident. In a trial where Ted received a life sentence, Judge Joe Tilazaris has said that the actions of Lionel Ted, it's not just the innocence of a child. These actions are filled with coldness, evil and brutality that can't be put into words. 1993 James Boger. 3-year-old waiting for her mother outside a shop in the shopping mall. However, James was lured away by John and Robert. When James' mother didn't notice, we're all walking along a canal. There were about 40 witnesses, but they just thought James was the youngest. I'm with my 2 brothers. Then, 2 10-year-old men raped and killed her, James in a deserted place. Next, they threw James's body down the tracks and covered it with rocks. James was then run over by a train. 2 days later, the boy's body was found. John and Robert went to court, and under the Personality Improvement Program, both were released in 2001. Although this has met with a lot of public opposition, so far, no one knows the motives of both, but the public thinks maybe they've been affected too much from violent movies. So, come on, it's over. What do you think of the cases with the child killers mentioned above? If they are released later, they will change. become better people. Or it's actually nature that's hard to change. And we have to accept that. There are newborn children. It's the devil. VI Dyke, this is just a collection of barbaric cases that hung. The players are just kids. I'm sure I'll do another one in the future to go into more detail about some of the cases mentioned above. Tell me more about your thoughts in the comments section. And now, hello and see you.